not this or of this chief. Ox, leader, power, authority, goal, staff, bind, and control toward protection, leading and teaching, also like no, not, as a staff, goal, and control toward no protection, no authority, leading or teaching, not this chief. Ox, also like no, cannot, divided from this sun to this sun, on this horizon, as day, a line gathering to this father, head and person, top man, topmost rule, first possession and inheritance, chief and ox, also like to call, proclaim, read, name, head and person of this beginning, top man, topmost rule, first possession and inheritance of, and this family, house and tent floor, plan, also like chief, captain, this chief, ox, inside this tent wall, and all that thereof divided, this and of this tent door, hung down, also like one, single, first, alone, unity, this palm of hand, opened, to curve, to subdue, allow, this arm, and hand, thrust, hand, deed, physically observing, also like for, surely indeed, life, breath, and breath of life in man, arm, hand, physically observing this which got revealed to behold, also like exists, came to pass, took place, oxen of this chief, ox, signed covenant, mark, signature, and identification of people, place, and thing in, of life, breath, and this breath of life in man, also like you, this null life, breath, and breath of life in man, this arm, hand, throne, hand, deed, throne hand, also handiwork, which pointed to this head, and this person from this beginning, top man, to this topmost rule, to and for, first possession and inheritance to behold, life, breath, and breath of life in man revealed, also like throw, shoot, cast, direct, instruct, teach, flow as water, lay, point out, authority, this goal, staff, and control toward protection, this binding bind, lead and teaching, of this massive, mighty lifted up sea, water, blood, to lift up, which lifts up to and through this tent door, also like instruct, of this, palm of hand, open, to tame, curve to, allow, by this authority to this goal, control toward protection, leading and teaching, also like all, every, wholly, entirely, total, added, fixed, by through this anointed tent peg, hooked to secure ox of this chief, ox, signed covenant, mark, signature, and identification of people, place, and thing in and of life, breath, and this breath of life in man, also like you, of this chief, ox, within this tent wall, inside, also like brothers, relatives, look, lo, and behold, life, breath, and breath of life in man, arm, hand, thrust, hand, deed, revealed, also like exists, came to pass, took place. And us connected, added, fixed, to and by this anointed tent peg, man, and this breath of life revealed in man, hooked to secure to this chief, us as oxen, also like he, it, that, this, from, of this palm of hand, which opened to tame, subdue, allow, this blowing word, and a spoken command, as this edge of this head, and person, top man, topmost rule, first possession and inheritance, also like cover, to atone, made reconciliation, purged, look, lo, and behold, life, breath, and breath of life in man, this arm, hand, thrust, hand, deed, revealed, also like exists, came to pass, took place. This shield shields, this thorn in this hand of this staff, as support, to hold on to, prop to grab, established establishment, within which prevents hate, barb, and by authority, this staff of authority, control toward protection, this goal, leading and teaching, inside and divided from this tent wall, also like forgiven, pardoned, inside this tent wall, and thereof divided, as perpetual offspring, seed of this Yeshua given kingdom of life, heir, sprouting seed to continue, also like grace favors, ox of this chief, ox, Yahuwah, given kingdom of life to perpetuate by this open palm of hand, which subdued, curved to allow, by this arm, and hand, thrust hand, deed, physically observing this, also like I, me, us, in, and by this palm of hand, authority, this goal, staff, control toward protection, leading and teaching, also like all, every, wholly, entirely, totally, if ever away from this blowing word, speaking command as a sword, facing frontward and therefrom divided, from pressed, sharpened, repeating, with eye to see, watch, experience, heed, to understand cover, also like break away, revolt, from and by this massive, mighty, lifted up sea, blood, from and to inside, divided from this tent wall, life, breath, breath of life in man, also like wipe, blot out, obliterate, this from this chief, ox, heir, Yeshua, given kingdom of life, sons, sprouting seed, continuation and perpetuation thereof, of this palm of hand, arm, hand, thrust hand, deed, also, like I, me, sharp things, piercing, any hate, for this shield, thorn in this hand of staff to hold on to, established establishment, blowing word, spoken command as a sword from this head, and person, top man, topmost rule, first possession and inheritance, also like scroll, book, writing, this, all outside this tent wall, trying to separate from inside this sun, divided from this sun. Sun on this horizon, day, line, encompassing and gathering to this Father, also like statute, regulation, all really from this chief, ox, thus divided from this, face this front of, and to this head and person, topmost rule, first possession and inheritance, also like who, which, that, when, where, how, look, just look at life, breath, and breath of life in man, arm, hand, thrust hand, deed, revealed also like exists, came to pass, and if, when not as a man on his side, desiring, on trail of this head and person, top man, topmost rule, first possession and inheritance, also like ever try to tie, restrict, of this chief, ox, heir, Yeshua, given kingdom of life, sons, sprouting seed, continuation and perpetuation thereof, of this palm of hand, open to tame, arm, hand, also like I, me, from this blowing word, spoken command as a sword, divided from and facing frontward, contained by this blowing womb and stored, also like stripped off, spread out, this, these, furthermore revealing who really stands as head and person, top man, topmost rule, first possession and inheritance, chief, ox, all facing this front and therefrom divided of this arm, hand, hand thrust, deed, mark, sign, signed covenant, an identification of people, place, thing, also like beginning, first, chief, choice part, those split from this head, and person, topmost rule, first possession and inheritance, also like prince, ruler, leader, official, and all not connected to this anointed tent peg, if went away from, and not of this massive, mighty, lifted up sea, blood to lift up to face this front, facing frontward, divided from this, pressed from, and to, repeating, sharpened by, this and this blowing word, mouth and spoken command like a sword, to store, or not contained and surrounded by this blown womb, also like sentence, decree, style, then clearly other than this chief, ox, arm, hand, thrust hand, deed, heir, and heirs, given kingdom of life, sprouting seed, perpetuation and continuation, also like exists not, nothing without, none. Ox of this chief, ox, signed covenant, signature and identification of people, place, things in strength, of life, breath, and breath of life in man, also like you, ever try to, as consumed, destroyed, if when not facing this front therefrom divided, and from this blowing, blown, word mouth, and spoken command like a sword of this blowing, that contains, stores, surrounds, and if not, also like try to judge, sentence.